The Seventh Tower by Garth Nix. Book 6, The Violet Keystone. Chapter 27. A whirlwind? Tal shook his head. Great.
The whirlwind may not be part of the old camsole, but merely some form of protective layer,
said Yazik.
There is a pillar of stone at the center of the whirlwind, and some argue that this is in fact the old camsole, but no one knows for sure.
If Shadowcourt can get into the whirlwind, so can we, said Mila. Zika's tongue flickered in and out in agitation.
No,
he said.
The flesh would be stripped from your bones. It is not possible to enter unless the old camsole allows you. It would not grant that permission if Shadowcourt is already there. It never allows more than one being to consult with it at any time.
There must be some way, Tal protested. A shield maiden thinks of all things possible and expected, then does the impossible and unexpected, said Audrus unexpectedly from above their heads. I know a way into the heart of the old camsole.
Audrus knows a way,
repeated Adrus smugly. How? Asked Tal and Mila at the same time. It's a whirlwind, said Audrus. You don't fly into a whirlwind. You get above it and fly down through the eye.
But the old camsole is no ordinary whirlwind,
cautioned Zika.
It reaches up to the very margin of the world, high above the clouds. How could you fly above the whirlwind?
Audrus sniffed. We can fly higher than anything if we feel like it, she said. Up and up and up, and then a dive straight down through the eye.
I have climbed high mountains,
said Yazik.
With height comes cold, and there is little air to breathe. You storm shepherds may fly high, but your companions would die.
No, we wouldn't, said Mila. We could make globes of air with green light and warm ourselves with our sunstones. I do not have a sunstone, said Mullen quietly. You may use mine, said Ebbet. He slipped off the sunstone he wore in a silver ring and held it out to Mullen. I am afraid that I cannot come with you any farther, children. Mullen protested, and Tal started to say something, but Ebbet dropped the ring in Mullen's lap and held up his hand to Tal. I am old and very tired, he said firmly. And I would undoubtedly lose my false teeth if I went diving into whirlwinds, and with them any dignity I have left. I have almost every confidence in your ability to deal with Shadowcourt without my help. You don't have false teeth, said Tal. That is totally irrelevant, answered Ebbet. Now I am going to go to sleep. Good luck. With that, the old chosen curled up on one of the thicker rugs and closed his eyes. Tal half expected to see his maned cat slink in and curl up next to him. Mila and Mullen both slowly clapped their fists, and then made a sign the others didn't know, crossing their palms one above the other, and then gesturing out toward Ebbet. What was that for? Asked Tal. He prepares to go to the ice in his own way, said Mila. We honor him. He's just tired, that's all, insisted Tal. Just tired. He's not going to die. Crow, you know him. He's just tired. Yes, agreed Crow, but Tal did not know who he was agreeing with. The Free Folk boy did not meet his eyes. Tal looked back out at the entrance to the Roro. He could remember so many times he had gone to Ebbet, seeking help and advice, or simply to hide away from trouble. It was Ebbet he had gone to when his father had disappeared, when he had to find a sunstone. But he could not let himself grieve now. Ebbet might have decided to die, but that didn't mean he would. Look after my great-uncle, please, Zika, he said, looking back at Mila, Mullen, and Crow. Perhaps he will be better in the morning, when we return. He tried to say the last 3 words with the confidence of an emperor, but it did not come out as well as he would have liked. There was an unspoken if hanging in the air instead of that when. If we return. We'd better plan how we're actually going to do this, said Tal. Audrus, are you prepared to risk yourselves flying into the eye of the whirlwind? Yes, said Audrus. She nudged Adrus, and he repeated her answer. Will we be able to take a boat of light through? No, said Audrus. But we could take it above the eye, and then I can carry two if we're just dropping straight down. The Storm Shepherd's answer chilled the air for a moment, as they all visualized dropping straight down the eye of a whirlwind that rose higher than any mountain. We will have the added advantage of surprise, said Mila. We will be able to strike at Sharakor before he even suspects we are there. If we manage to actually drop on him... A lizard poked its head in and babbled something before she could continue.
The old Camsol is indeed in the Hrikon Desert,
said Zika.
2 days' march away for one of us.
A few hours flying, said Mila. We could be there by the time the sun falls. What is that time called? Dusk, replied Tal. A good time to attack, replied Mila with satisfaction. We will surprise Sharakor, and I will cut his throat with the talon. Zika and Yazik exchanged a look. Yazik's tongue flickered sideways.
Please excuse me,
said the older lizard.
There is something I must attend to.
If we're going to get there by nightfall, I'd better give Mullen some lessons on how to use her sunstone, said Tal. Then I guess we'd better make some globes of air, though I don't suppose there's any point in waiting until early in the morning and attacking at dawn. Waiting feeds fear, said Mila. Courage comes with deeds. Let's get it over and done with, added Crow. Yes, agreed Mullen. The longer we wait, the more the veil weakens. Adris and Audrus nodded their agreement, huge heads of cloud bobbing up and down.
The Kurshkin wish you good fortune,
said Zika.
And success.